Let's continue the conversation around the shocking claims against a Mount Fletcher principal who allegedly forced some matric pupils from not writing their final exams, claiming that they were too stupid to sit for the 2023 final matric year. The principal has since been suspended pending investigations. Let's get an update now from the Eastern Cape Education Department, and its spokesperson is Vuyiseka Mboxela. Ms. Mboxela, thank you very much for your time. Can we start the conversation on the situation of the 7 learners who were allegedly told by this principal that they shouldn't sit for this exam because they would not make it anyway? Talk to us about what the situation is around them. Are they writing? Are they not writing?
Thank you very much, Oli, and good morning to Newzroom Afrika viewers. And maybe I must start by saying that it's a bit of an embarrassment, and we would have not expecting that to happen, especially from a person who's a teacher, because you'd expect that that person has got a parental responsibility of giving confidence to such learners. But what I can confirm to you, Oli, is that those learners are writing. They only missed the first examination, which was languages. And we will then give them a provision of making sure that next year they do right, because at the end of the day, there is no significant indication that indeed they are going to fail examination. And from where we sit, we're convinced beyond reasonable doubt that we are obligated as a department to give them support, because it's not just about writing and then fail. It's about writing. If they fail, we must give them a support, and then they be able to get a grade 12. And I can say and confirm that indeed the school principal has been given a precautionary suspension so that the investigation can take place smoothly without his interference in the process.
When you say that the children are writing their exams, excluding, of course, the one subject that they would have missed, I just need to get clarity. Is it all 7 of them? Because according to the newspaper report, at least 2 of these pupils, one said they don't think that they are interested in writing anymore, I think particularly at the school concerned, and the other one simply could not be located. So based on that article, the 5 children, at least the ones that have been sort of tracked down, those are the ones that are writing. Do I have it correct?
Yes, you are correct. And the one that said that is no longer interested in writing examination, we have an understanding that it is an issue of a confidence, because remember, you come back in a class after you would have been told that you can't write because you're going to fail. You come back in a class, one way or the other, your confidence is down, you'll be mocked by your peers. But what we are committing is that those learners, we are going to make sure that they come back to class next year, because at the end of the day, to force the one that says that I'm not ready, I don't want to go back to school, it could also be a strain. And we are going to then give them the support, the tool. Because at the end of the day, those 2 learners are known who they are, and they are known where they stay, and they are known their own parents. So we're going to track them back. If needs be that they be relocated to other schools, that is going to happen. It's something that is within our ambit as the department. And or if they want to come back to the very same school, it is also something that is going to happen. But we also thank the fact that there was an instant action that was taken against the principal. So to make a clear indication that there is no one who has got an obligation to gamble with the future of our own kids, and every principal has got an obligation to make sure that he behaves or she behaves like a parent at all material times in schools.
Before we get to consequence management for this principal, the parents of the pupils, the understanding is that they were made to write to the school stating that their children were in no position to write for this exam. The newspaper also stressing the point that some of them did not even understand what they were committing to. Do you know about these allegations, and how widespread is this practice, Ms. Mboxela, in the Eastern Cape?
Yes. No, it's not something that is widespread in the province. And I can say that those parents were taken an advantage of, maybe based on their own, literacy level, if I may put it that way, because such is an illegal practice. Every learner has got a right to be at school, and every learner has got a right to have to be in possession of a grade 12, and every learner has got a right to be supported by the Department of Education. And from where we sit at the department is that immediately after they would have finished their examination writing, which is the class of 2023, there will be a comparative study that will be done to check who was registered and who then passed for writing examination, and those that would have fallen by the wayside, what would have been the case in all of them. And between January and March next year, we forever do what we call back to school, where we go back to those learners that would have been in the journey of 12 years, try to convince them that they must write, they must re-register, maybe as a part-time candidate or as a full-time candidate, depending on the situation. And we can't really say that it's something that is happening across the province, because that is not the case. It's only two schools that have been accused of that, and it's only one that we can confirm that indeed this happened, which is the one that we're talking about. And from the preliminary investigation that we're getting is that at least in the province, the writing of examination is taking place smoothly. And I can tell you, Colin, that the consequence management that are being done by department, they get to be done across the board. And if there's a result that will come out and say that the principal would have been doing that systemically with the help of a particular person anywhere, be it a person in the provincial office, be it a person in the district office, such individuals will be exposed, and such individuals will face the might of the law within the department, because credibility of examination doesn't only start on the day of writing examination. It starts from day one a learner gets into a school. Yeah. And we are obligated by constitution to give learners a right to have grade 12 certificate so that they can pursue their own careers in the near future.
The understanding is that this principal, the reason he decided to embark on this action, well, at least let's say allegedly embark on this, because there are still investigations underway, was that it had to do with the obsession over the pass mark of this school. Now, when you say that this is not widespread, it prompts a question. How did you come to know about this particular incident at this school? And indeed, kudos to you for taking immediate action to suspend him. But how did you learn about this situation?
Yes, we learned about it from parents complaining directly to the department, and some even making messages directly to the MEC. And the reason why I have an assertion that it is not something that is widespread in the province, because the comparative study that we get to do when learners would have finished their examination, and most probably an announcement would have been done by the minister, it's because in the past 3 years, we have been registering a percentage that is always between 3.5% and 5%. And when we sit down and make an analysis, how many learners have not written, from which district and from which school, you'll find that it's parents that will claim that, no, my kid relocated, and sometimes you'll find that it's kids that would say that I was not ready, but I will go back to school in this new year. And sometimes you'll find that it's parents that will have conditions that are beyond their own measures, that some are psychological. When we sit down and make an assessment, we then understand that indeed they had some valid and personal and sometimes painful reasons why they couldn't come for an examination. But as of this being maybe viewed as a coordinated syndicate in the province, we don't have that, because each school in the beginning of the year, which is January, would register the total number of candidates. And we then go back and say, if Phakamani Senior Secondary School, we had 300 learners, how many passed with what level, and how many failed and with what level, and how many didn't pitch up with what level?
Yeah.
So that we can be able to understand that is the system producing learners on the basis that they can just be produced, or is the system able to produce, and is the system able to sustain learners from the beginning of the year to the end of the year until they write examination?
All right. Final question to you, ma'am. The department, as you have said a few moments earlier, that if found guilty, this principal will face the full might of the law. What will that mean in practice?
For an example, this could mean a lot. One could be given a suspension that is a bit longer than the 3 months that are an instant one when one is given a precautionary suspension. And also the depth of that report will tell us whether that amounts to a permanent dismissal of that particular principal, because this would then give us a question that we must ask: how long has he or she been doing this for, as long as that particular individual is a principal? So it's something that has not happened in the previous years, and we'll be learning of it for the very first time. And then therefore the veracity of it will tell us what kind of a sanction must be given to him as a principal. Because our understanding is that a principal is not an ordinary teacher. A principal is a leader of a particular school that at all times must lead exemplary, and at all times must lead with a face of a human being in terms of how you do things. So when you are crossing a line at that level of a principal, it therefore means that the entire school is doomed. So a sanction will be equal to the claims that are being made thus far. Okay. And if the report confirms indeed he will be given a sanction that is equal to that, because we know the HOD is not going to play jokes on that, and we know the MEC is going to be very upfront on what needs to be done, because we're talking about the future of our own kids, and we're talking about the development of them, the province, and also the country.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Vuyiseka Mboxela is the Eastern Cape Education Department's spokesperson. The questions don't stop here, because it is alleged that the reason the principal acted in this way is also in part because of the pressure visited upon the principals to account to the department as to how their schools perform. So policy level, those questions perhaps will be fit for the minister to talk to.